It has been home sweet home for the Gonzaga women all season. Here at the McCarthy Athletic Center, they have not dropped a single game. Today they try and cap off a 15-0 home record as they take on the St. Mary's Gales on Senior Day. Hi, everybody. Joined by my broadcast partner, Stephanie Hawk-Freeman, the Gonzaga great. I'm Austin Getz. A.J. Howell, the third member of our, will join us a bit later. Stephanie, you talk about these two teams. Gonzaga, they shoot the three. Caitlin Trong, Brenna Maxwell. We've gotten used to it, but they are truly putting up some historic numbers.
They really are. If anybody on this team has the green light, these two, and look at these numbers. Unbelievable. First in the WCC, first in the NCAA for three-point shooting, Brenna Maxwell and Caitlin Trong. Third in the WCC, 17th in the nation. They are both shooting at high clip.
On the other side for St. Mary's, they lost the first round of this matchup. That was down in Moraga, but they did not have their player, and Allie Bamberger is back on the court for the Gales. Truly a difference maker the Zags are going to have to keep their eye on.
Yeah, she is a big presence for them inside. Like you said, she did not play in that first matchup. If she gets possession down low, she is almost impossible to stop. She's a good passer. She's great on the boards. And coming off the loss to Portland, she only had 5 points. Let's see how she responds.
Well, it's Senior Day, Alumni Weekend here in the Kennel. We'll get all the festivities coming up and, of course, get tip-off of this West Coast Conference battle. It's college basketball, the Zags and the Gales, and it's coming up next on SWX. Welcome back here to the Kennel, a few minutes away from tip-off. Tonight's starting lineups, we'll bring you those right now, which are brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, and access your account 24/7 with digital banking at Numerica Credit Union. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card only at Numerica. Federally insured by NCUA, equal housing opportunity. Getting the starting five for the St. Mary's Gales: Claire Steele, Leah Hannafin, Tacey Whedon, and Hannah Rapp, the guards. And as we talked about a moment ago, Allie Bamberger back in this game. She will be the forward. For the Gonzaga Bulldogs, it's the usual starting five: Caitlin Trong, Brenna Maxwell, the three-point shooters, Michaela Williams, Eliza Hollingsworth, Yvonne Ejim, rounding out the starting five for the Zags. Well, as we mentioned, it is Senior Day here at the Kennel, and A.J. Howell, some big news regarding Senior Day.
Yeah, that's right, Austin. Some huge news for Zags fans. We already knew that Brenna Maxwell would be returning for her COVID year, coming back to the Kennel next year, but now we have news on the other three seniors. That's Caitlin Trong, Kaylee Trong, and Eliza Hollingsworth. They just announced via video right here in front of all the fans that they will be returning for another season. Obviously, huge news for this program, and if you're a Zag fan, you got to be pretty excited.
Absolutely. I know Stephanie, you and I, when that announcement was made, we sat up in our chairs because it's so big to have, upperclassmen leadership, and you're going to have plenty of reliable players coming back for Lisa Fortier next season.
Yeah, this place exploded when they announced it. I've had people asking me all weekend, do you know anything? Do you know anything? I said, you got to wait for the announcement. There's going to be an announcement.
They kept it completely under wraps. Not even we knew what the announcement was going to be, but the announcement is that those players will be back. But that's next season to worry about. We still got a few games left in this regular season and all that lies ahead. And, of course, this battle with St. Mary's and Gonzaga right here on SWX. You're glad that you can join us. We're ready to go. There you see Yvonne Ejim and Allie Bamberger meeting at center court for the tip-off. That should be a battle well worth the price of admission today. Gonzaga will control the ball first.
And this is a St. Mary's team that's not going to bring a lot of full court pressure or zone, and they haven't shown it much in the past. So you're going to see just player on player for the full 40.
Von Ejim tries to put the first tally on the board, can't do it, and here come the Gales after the rebound. They try and immediately feed inside to Bamberger. Brenna Maxwell hits the floor, no call. The Gales setting up in their offense now. There's Tacey Whedon, a three-point marksman in her own right. Now Leah Hannafin with it now, into the paint, kicks it out. Three on the way from Claire Steele. Off the iron and grabbed by Eliza Hollingsworth. Zags come away with it. Feed inside. Ejim had Bamberger sealed, couldn't quite handle the pass. Now the ball's on the floor. We'll get a jump ball, and it'll be St. Mary's. Good idea there, just couldn't corral the pass.
Yeah, and Ejim was so deep. I don't know if I've seen a post get possession that deep. She was literally standing underneath the net there. But you're right, just not able to corral that in.
You can see what the Zags want to do, set the tone going inside. Bamberger also a great shot blocker, so she plays defense end to end. Here's a three on the way from Whedon. Long and grabbed by Trong. Here come the Zags again. No score yet, just over a minute into the game. Michaela Williams able to keep that one from going out of bounds, keeps the ball alive. Zags still controlling on offense here. Eliza Hollingsworth at the elbow. Will drive on Bamberger, and her shot blocked. Gales with another stop to open the game. Floater in the lane from Whedon, missed everything. Michaela Williams there for the rebound. Michaela bringing it up the floor. Inside, Ejim, mid-range jumper on the way, it's good. And our first points of the game go the way of Yvonne Ejim.
And that's a great read by Yvonne. She noticed that their hands were down and just going to shoot right over Bamberger there, but got to get back on D. You saw Bamberger come right back down, right in the middle. You can't let her have that. You got to stop her early on, right about that free throw line.
Had a look, missed it. Ball went out of bounds, but will stay with St. Mary's on the baseline inbounds. Hannah Rapp getting her first touches, drives, puts one up over Maxwell. Brenna gets the rebound after the miss. Slow offensive pace to start the game. Here's Ejim, step inside the three-point arc. Bamberger sagging off a little bit. Trong looked at a three in the corner. Instead will take a mid-range jumper. A little short, but she grabs her own rebound. Trong on the second effort, puts the floater up in the lane, missed the rim, and it's going to go the way of Gales as here comes Steele. Steele gets it back. Bamberger now out on the perimeter, guarded by Trong. And now a bit of a miscommunication. They let Bamberger get it in deep, but she kicks it out, working it around the arc. Here's a three on the way from Rapp. That one's no good, and St. Mary still has the goose egg on the scoreboard.
Nice ball movement by the Gales, but you've got to knock down those open shots, especially here in the kennel, because who else?
Kaylin Trong steps into a three, splashes that one. Zags with a quick 5-0 lead as Trong hits our first long distance shot of the day. Kennel crowd getting into it now. Pass deflected. Hollingsworth nearly tracked it down. It is able to get into the corner. Steele will drive. Top of the key. Hannafin now. Step back jumper on the way, and she puts the Gales on the board. Leia Hannafin from Melbourne, Australia, with the first points of the day for the visitors.
Yeah, that's a tough shot there, but the Gales needed something to go, really struggling to find the bottom of the net.
Brenna Maxwell with it now. Michaela Williams gets herself open. Shot on the way. No good that time, but they like to get Michaela involved in the offense. She's nearly quadrupled her points from last season. I don't want to say she was a one-dimensional player last season, as Bamberger will go to the line and draw the contact, but she has really come into her own as an offensive player. Michaela Williams going back a minute ago to the last possession, and that's something you got to have if you're Gonzaga. I mean, you have really kind of a big three with Trong, Ejim, and Maxwell, but always good to have those players that can also help out in the scoring.
Well, part of that is it's because of the injuries also. They got a shorter bench, and when you take Kaylee out of the mix, and Hollingsworth had to sit down, and Mont Hypens had to sit down. And so when you have those injuries, these players had to step up, and Michaela's always been great defensively. She's long, she can deflect, she's 6'1", you know, guard, and she's had that game, but now it's just a lot more confident looking for that shot more.
Bamberger splits the free throws. It's a 2-point game. Callie Stokes into the game for Gonzaga, had it for a moment. Esther Little also on the floor for the Zags. Trong thought about another three, hesitating. They go inside, Ejim. With Bamberger on her drives, thought she got fouled, no call, and St. Mary's comes away with a chance to tie or take the lead early. Whedon floats this one high. Steele, top of the key triple. Callie Stokes skies for the rebound. Zags come away with another stop.
And this initially, in those starting lineups, Gonzaga has the height advantage. You can see right now Yvonne Ejim's in there, and Esther Little has been asked to go into the post and play that, but definitely got the height advantage.
Yvonne Ejim, another mid-range jumper. She has made teams pay all season. If they're not going to guard her, if they're going to give her the approach of, yeah, we'll let you shoot that shot, she's going to make them at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, she shoots really well out to 15 feet, and then she can also take it off the drive and go to work inside, so it just makes her that much more difficult to guard.
Three from Taylor Dalton into the game for the Gales. Trims the lead to 1.
Yeah, Taylor Dalton can get it going. She hit 6 threes earlier in the season against Montana State. You really have to keep an eye on her. She's sitting there tied for third most points for the Gales.
Zags trying to get their offense set. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Maxwell to Ejim. Another mid-range on the way. Another 2 points on the board for Yvonne Ejim.
Just watching Yvonne, she just never seems rattled. It doesn't really seem like very many players ever speed her up. On those shots, she's just so confident, steps right into it.
Well, on Thursday night, she had maybe one of the quietest games you will ever see her play in terms of scoring. Still affected the games in other ways. Another shot from Dalton, that one's no good. So she's come out, and early on, it seems that she has her mind set on getting points on the board.
Well, and part of that was, too, she did get 2 fouls in that first half, and kind of takes you out of the game, but it also just goes to show teams, when they come in and scout the Zags, they're going to have to take something away. So are they going to focus on the post, or are they going to focus on the guards?
Kind of a pick your poison.
Yeah.
3-point lead for the Zags, just over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, I should say. We'll take a break after that turnover. Zags with a slim lead early. We'll bring it back to the Camel as Von Ejim with a mid-range jumper. You're watching College Hoops right here on SWX. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. Stephanie, what do you got for the keys to victory for these two teams?
You got to key in on those key players, and those key players, we've already mentioned Bamberger, their leading scorer at 14 points, but Tacey Whedon second at 13 points. She put up 10 threes against Gonzaga in the first matchup for 23 points. Transition D, we talked about how important it is to stop Bamberger before she gets down low or allow those guards to get to the rim. And then lastly, control the boards. In the first match, Gonzaga did a great job on the glass. They were plus 11 overall with 16 second chance points, but with Bamberger not in that first round, it's going to be a little more difficult today.
Zags with an early 3 margin on the rebounding tally, 9-6. And Michaela Williams is going to get whistled for travel here. She couldn't quite set her feet before that pass fake. About 3 minutes left here in this first quarter. It's been a bit of a slow start on offense, but not for Yvonne Ejim, as she's got 6 of Gonzaga's first 9 points. St. Mary's could tie with a 3. Rapp gets it back in the corner. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Whedon, a 3-point shooter. Will hand things off. Dalton has her shot blocked from behind by Hollingsworth, and then a second just for good measure. Eliza with 2 big blocks, and it leads to a shot clock violation. Great defense there by the 6'3" redshirt junior from Melbourne.
And this is where Eliza has the advantage, right? Dalton 5'9", Eliza Hollingsworth 6'3" in there. Nice job not fouling or bailing out the Gale player to put her to the line.
Boy, what an offensive rebound by Callie Stokes there. Gives Gonzaga a second opportunity. Peyton Muma into the game, took the last shot. Now Eliza lines up a 3. Can't quite get it to go. St. Mary's trying to run in transition. Gonzaga hustles back. There's Rapp with it there. Quickly reversed into the corner. And here comes Lyra Kirasomi. At the elbow, turned away. Good defense there. Aspen Garrison had a look. Instead, it's going to be 3 from Whedon, her first attempt of the game, and that one's no good. Big board down low by Esther Little. Here's Michaela Williams. Peyton Muma. Zags going to their bench, something that they had to do as Peyton Muma hesitates through the lane, can't get the layup to fall. And now quickly to the other end, Gale's trying to take advantage, but Michaela Williams hustles back on D. They go inside, this one goes out of bounds, and that's going to be St. Mary's basketball. Maud Hybens coming back on, or coming onto the floor, I should say, for the first time. It's good to see her back, as she had to miss 20 games in the middle of this season. Made her return Thursday night against Pacific. Really good to see her back on the floor.
Yeah, her and Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth was out for concussion protocol as well. And just adding those two, you're talking about 6'3", coming back in. And we talked about Gonzaga already having the height advantage, but then now they just keep bringing them off the bench. They've just gotten deeper.
Just an embarrassment of riches on this Gonzaga roster. And now here's Hollingsworth, left open, mid-range shot, no good. Under a minute to go now here in the first quarter. Zags holding a 3-point lead. Kirasomi, ooh, over the top pass.
Find.
And that was a great dish to Rapp for the 2-pointer.
That was a great find. And Rapp has been playing really well. In the last 5 games, she's been averaging 11 points, shooting 52%, almost 43% behind the 3-point line. She's really picked up her performance.
We're going to get an offensive foul on the inside. They'll get Hybens. Whistle her for being a bit too aggressive, fighting for positioning there. And there you see Bamberger back on the floor for the final 31 seconds of this first quarter. Gales could take the lead with a basket. Content to take some time off these final 16 seconds. Here's Dalton, now Bamberger. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Rapp will drive and will be fouled in the process. Brenna Maxwell can't believe it, thought she was in position to take a charge. Instead, it'll be a block.
The crowd letting the referees know as well that they don't think they quite agree. Let's take a look here.
Tough.
Yeah.
Brenna might have been moving just a little bit there. They ruled that it was not a shooting foul, so it's a baseline inbound here, but this will officially turn the shot clock off. They try and feed it down low. It's deflected out of bounds. Will stay with the Gales. Now 4.5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Inside. Bamberger, now Rapp. Got to get one off. She puts it up and can't get it to go. So after the first quarter, it is a 9-8 lead for Gonzaga. Defense ruling the first period. We'll take a break and come back. We got the second quarter of this West Coast Conference battle. Gonzaga, St. Mary's, right here on SWX. Tonight's Gonzaga basketball broadcast is brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats. Back here at the McCarthy Athletic Center, getting ready for this second quarter. Gonzaga hosting St. Mary's here on Senior Day. Stephanie Hawk-Freeman, myself, Austin Getz, AJ Howell, the third member of our team. Joining you, Stephanie, what stood out to you in that first quarter from both these teams?
Well, neither team shot well. Gonzaga shot better than the Gales at 28%, but the Gales just at 18, almost 19%. You know, but when you talk about big days like this, Senior Day, even though they're all coming back, it's still emotional. It's a little different, and for the Gales coming into a place like this with a crowd, the environment is just something that these teams don't see and experience a lot. So as they go along, they'll settle in, and usually shots start falling then.
Bamberger, a rare look at a three, just shoots 32% from there and missed that time. And you got to think that if this pace continues, it kind of favors the Gales, not because Gonzaga can't play a tight defensive game, but Gonzaga just seems to have those runs that just bury their opponents. We've seen it all year, whether it's the three-point shooting or Von Ejim going to work in the paint. It just seems like if this kind of, you know, back and forth, 2 points here, 2 points there trend continues, that's going to favor St. Mary's.
Well, what it does is it allows them to stay confident. It makes them think that they gotta, you know, they're still in the game, and instead of burying them and then having to exert all that effort trying to catch back up.
And Rapp picks up the foul there. That'll put Von Ejim on the free throw line. She was about the only one who had any success in that first quarter. She was 3 for 5 from the field. This is her first trip to the line today.
And a big congrats to Yvonne Ejim. She's one of 10 semifinalists for that Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year watch list. Definitely deserved. Like I said, she's a player that's hard to rattle.
I mean, you just look at her resume. The top 6 scorer in the West Coast Conference, 2nd in rebounds in the West Coast Conference, 5th in blocks. I mean, she does everything. Meanwhile, Michaela Williams bringing it up the floor for Gonzaga after they get another turnover. Here's Maud Hyben, steps into a mid-range jumper. High arcing shot is good.
So what you see with Gonzaga is not only do they bring in these bigger players for the height, but they can stretch the defense. Maud Hyben, so we talked about Yvonne Ejim hitting that 15-footer, and then Liza Hollingsworth can shoot that 3. It allows them to open up that paint for drives and for the other posts to go to work.
A 3 to answer, not that time from Claire Steele. Gonzaga holding their biggest lead of the game right now at just 5 points, looking to extend. Ejim. Hyben's trying to seal off her defender. Ejim gets around her defender, puts a shot up, it's no good, and ball goes out of bounds. It'll go to St. Mary's. And it seems that St. Mary's has really been committed to try to limit the three-point shooting, and Gonzaga is not upset with that at all, because they'll go inside to Ejim all day if you give them the opportunity.
Well, they do a nice job guarding the three-point line. They're #1 in the WCC at only allowing their opponents to shoot 30% behind the three-point line. And we've seen that's a big piece of Gonzaga's game, but it's not the only piece.
Meanwhile, Bamberger kind of gets lost in the Gonzaga defense and puts one up, trims it back to a three-point lead. Bamberger, the reigning West Coast Conference newcomer of the year after transferring from the University of Washington, playing her first season with the Gales last year. Pass over the top, nice find from Hollingsworth. and Ejim connects.
And that was not easy because the help side was coming through that. That just barely got through there.
Well, you love how Ejim caught that basketball high.
And
didn't try and bring it down and just went right up with it. And then she jumps to her feet. Man, hard collision there. She knocked the ball away. She seems to be all right there. On the other end, Trong trying to push. And now pass to the trailing Ejim's going to go out of bounds. Vaughn leaped to deflect that pass and then just kind of came down in a heap, but she looks to be okay. Destiny Burton getting her first minutes of the game, coming off the bench.
So you can just see here, she just doesn't quite get her feet under her. And those are the ones where you kind of hold your breath for a second, but like you said, she got up, all good.
Yep. Lisa Fortier is going to give her a chance to catch her breath and let DB get on the floor here. And this is going to be a charge. Brenna Maxwell didn't get the charge call in the first quarter. She gets that one there.
Just extra sure to make sure she gets her feet set this time. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. There was no argument there.
Set on that one.
The foul went to Whedon, who picked it up. That is her first personal foul. Zags trying to stretch their lead. Williams gonna drive, baseline floater, just won't go. Burton tries to chase down an offensive rebound. It goes out of bounds, but will stay with Gonzaga. Good hustle there from Destiny Burton. Six and a half minutes to go here in the first half. Gonzaga leading by 5. Williams dribbles out of danger. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Williams just looking for any way to penetrate this defense. Now 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Maxwell, top of the key, 3 and 1! Brenna Maxwell, a 4-point play.
She had one of those the other day where she drew that foul and hit the 4-point play here. Right there, coming down, gets the contact, and that's where she runs. She comes across and sets that little cross screen for the post, and as her defense helps, then she gets the down screen, and we've seen how
poorly defended. If you have a person with a normal timing shooting release, you're probably right there, but Brenna gets them off so fast that you can't do anything, and in that case you pick up a foul. She's able to convert the free throw as well. As here's Hannah Rapp, she's going to drive, gets around her defender and scores. And that also extends the streak for Brenna Maxwell to now 38 straight games with a three-pointer, dating back to now over a year when she was with Utah. Last time she had a game without a three was February 13th of 2022. She's hit one in all 28 games Gonzaga has played this season. So Zags up by 7. Hannafin, now Claire Steele takes over. Steele trying to feed it on the inside. It's going to go off a foot and stay with Gonzaga. Or excuse me, St. Mary's off the kick ball violation by Gonzaga. There you see Callie Stokes coming in for the Zags. Addison Whedon coming in for the Gales. Here's Steele. Hannafin, now they're working it around. Rapp's got it now. Rapp guarded by Destiny Burton. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Burton turns her away. Has to get this off to beat the buzzer. It doesn't hit rim. That's going to be another shot clock violation. The second Gonzaga's defense has forced in this game. Zags up 7. About 5 minutes to go in the first half. We'll take a break as Brenna Maxwell, 3 + 1. You're watching SWX. Tonight's Smiles of the Game brought to you by Delta Dental. Oh, Kaylin Trong with a good one there after that 4-point play from Brenna Maxwell. We're on a mission to help make Washington State 100% cavity-free. To learn more, visit cavityfreewa.com to see how we are making a difference in our community. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. A few more smiles in the crowd than earlier in this game when it was not a lot of offense, but it just feels like the Zags weren't going to be kept off the scoreboard too long.
No, no. Like I said, just a different kind of day with senior day and the acknowledgments, the big announcement, and they get settled in pretty quickly.
Maxwell fouled again. This was on a 2-point jumper, so she'll go to the line. Also alumni weekend here, alumni day. Out at shoot around this morning, Lisa Fortier invited former players back, and talking to her, she says it's her favorite day of the year. This whole, the senior day, alumni day. She talked about, I've now been a coach in this program for 18 years as Maxwell hits the first free throw, and just to see all the players that she's coached come back, it's and I know you're seeing some of your friends too.
I am, yeah. There's quite a few that come back for today, and talking about Coach Fortier, she was, I think my junior year, she was a grad assistant here. So yeah, she's been around quite a while with this program.
And we're going to get a foul on the inside as Eliza Hollingsworth went to try and break up the pass. Gonzaga leading by 9 there. You get a look at head coach Lisa Fortier. 9th season as the head person in charge.
And a big deal just being announced as one of the 15 late season candidates for the 23 Naismith Women's College Coach of the Year.
Amazing.
And another one, yeah, just a no-brainer, right?
And you got to think in the running, of course, as always, for the West Coast Conference Coach of the Year, too.
Oh, yeah. What she's done with the injuries on this team has been phenomenal. She's been shorthanded, and they're starting to get their players back in the groove, and it's been quite just remarkable. I
mean, she played multiple games. You see Yvonne Ejim put one up and extend the lead to double digits for Gonzaga. They played multiple games with seven players.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen. And obviously you don't want the injuries, but as you were kind of alluding to earlier, it might have been a blessing in disguise. You got so many players, significant minutes, who might not have got them the other way, and now anyone who comes off that bench, Lisa Fortier can trust in a big moment.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get a collision. This is going to be a block down near the baseline. And it's going to go against, I believe, Brenna Maxwell they got. That's her second, so Brenna might have to see the bench for a little while. Michaela Williams coming in. Brenna will take a seat. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Gonzaga leading. St. Mary's just trying to stick around right now, as they have not scored in now over 2 minutes. Hannafin off the pump fake, drives and snaps that drought. Leia Hannafin getting 2 on the board for the Gales.
Yeah, great fake by Hannafin, but a rare opportunity to get a clear look at the lane like that, because Gonzaga just plays such great help defense, rotation defense, and she definitely found herself a seam there.
Ejim drops it off, and they're going to wave this bucket off. They'll get Yvonne for a travel, as Esther Little was on the receiving end of the pass and put it in, but they wave it off. Got to walk. We'll maybe take a look at that if we can. Meanwhile, St. Mary's have cut the lead down to 9. On the inside bit. Now on the arc, here's Whedon. Addison Whedon, that is, as she knocks down the 3 off the good pass there from Bamberger.
And that was beautiful, beautiful passing and movement by the Gales there for that open look.
Now just a 6-point lead. Little out to the top of the key. Michaela Williams lines up a 3. Can't get it to go. St. Mary's with a chance to trim the lead even more. With just over 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Whedon, who just hit the 3 a second ago, might have had a look at another one, but gives things off to Claire Steele. Steele feeds Bamberger inside.
Look at the attention she draws. Did you see that, Austin?
Yeah, double team came and she kicked it out. Taylor Dalton had a look at an open 3, just couldn't bury it. Now Kaylin Trong brings it up the floor. Williams back over to Trong. Feed inside. Put a little English on that pass. Ejim puts it up, gets her own rebound, puts it up for a second time, and that one goes. Ejim already up to 14 points. And now we're going to get a whistle inside. This ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Gales. Ejim, look at her offensive rebound and put back to give her 14 points. Also 3 rebounds here in the first half. She's just having, you know, a typical Yvonne Ejim game that we're used to, you know, we come to know, which is, you know, it's wild to see her make plays like that and be like, yeah, that's routine. That's just Yvonne Ejim.
Right. She's already got double digits, and even before the, I mean, we're not even that far into the second or the first part of the half, and she was in double digits.
Great player, the reigning 6th Woman of the Year from last season, as Maud Hybens gets a block on a shot there, and Gonzaga coming the other way. Good defense. Ejim, a step outside the arc, gives things over to Trong, off a screen. Trong picks up her dribble. Stokes inside. Ejim, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mid-range on the way. Yeah. Oh, Yvonne's cooking right now. It's just over a minute to go in the first half. She's up to 16 points.
That's twice now we've seen Ejim face up. You can't give her that space because she's recognizing that the hand is not there. It's not affecting her shot, and she's taking it.
Back out to a 10-point lead for the Zags. Under a minute to go now. Bamberger. Pass to the corner. Great defense from Michaela Williams in the corner as McKenna Mastrora's shot was off. About an 8 seconds difference between shot and game clock here. Zags content to work it down. Lisa Fortier shouting out instructions for Kaylin Trong. Now 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Trong off a screen. Trong driving. Loses the ball on her way to the lane. St. Mary's comes away on a 2-on-1. Bamberger inside. Puts the shot up, but Williams, what great defense from Michaela Williams to get back and defend that shot. It goes out of bounds and will stay with St. Mary's, but just up to the test right there was Michaela.
Yeah, and I think Dalton could have held on to that dribble for a little bit longer, so that way Bamberger didn't have to dribble. If she could have given it to her in stride, they might have had that too.
Well, they have done a great job on Bamberger. She's just got 3 points in the half. Now 3 seconds left in the half. Long shot on the way is good from Taylor Dalton, which will trim the lead to single digits as we hit the intermission. Long distance connection from Taylor Dalton there makes it 27-20. Gonzaga in front at the break as we'll get another look at it. Dalton, with just no time left, had to get that one up over Callie Stokes. Nothing but net. All right, we'll send it over to AJ Howell, who's got Lisa Fortier. AJ?
All right, Coach Yvonne Ejim, this first half, we didn't see much out of her out of the last game. Today she comes in shooting these mid-range shots, fighting for positioning down low. How important is her ability to adapt to this defense?
Yeah, she's doing a good job of hitting the perimeter shots. I think that she loves to drive it, but she's really improved as a perimeter shooter. And the way the calls have been going lately, I think she's a little bit hesitant, but it doesn't matter because she's capable in all areas of the floor.
What is your focus in the second half in order to pull away?
Defensive intensity. Like we are jogging, we're not matching up. We've given up. They missed a bunch of early shots, but not because of our defense. It was just because they missed. So they're not going to miss all of those. We need to do a better job on defense.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Lisa Fortier always going to tell the truth about her team, and she's not just going to paper over this 7-point lead. She knows her team could have had a bigger one. 27-20 halfway through this game. Gonzaga leading St. Mary's. We'll take a break and come back. Halftime here at the Kennel. You're watching college basketball. Gonzaga St. Mary's right here on SWX. The Gonzaga halftime report is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spa treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home. Halftime here at the Kennel. Gonzaga holding a 7-point lead. We welcome you to our halftime report here on SWX, joined by my broadcast partner, Stephanie Hawk-Freeman. I'm Austin Getz. Stephanie, I don't know how to sum up the first half rather than saying it must be really good to have Yvonne Ejim on your team and really bad to play against her.
Yeah, she has come out really strong in this first half. 16 points, 7-11 shooting, 4 rebounds, and she's done it by going to work inside, establishing herself with the position, but then also knocking down the outside jump, not from the 15-foot, the face-ups. She's been really difficult to guard because she's just hitting from all spots of the floor.
And I think Gonzaga has to be given credit on defense for stopping, at least so far, Allie Bamberger, just 3 points in that first half.
Yeah, well, and they have. I mean, that's a focus point, right? Her and Tacey Whedon. But, you know, Dalton did a nice job. There was other players that scored, and they're only down 7 points here at half. They're still in it, obviously.
Certainly.
But Dalton with 10 points in that first half, hit that big shot right there at the end, which they needed for some momentum going into the second half.
Absolutely. Still a lot of time to sort this one out. We'll take a break and come back. College basketball. Halftime here. A lot of fun fans in attendance for Senior Day. You're watching College Hoops right here on SWS. Back here at the Kennel, fans taking in a great game between Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Bulldogs with a 7-point lead at the break after the Gales hit a big 3 at the buzzer. Let's look ahead after this game sorted out. Just 2 more games in the regular season. Of course, this being Senior Day means it's the last home game here in the Kennel. Zags got to go to San Diego next Thursday, and then Saturday, always a tough place to play in Provo. They'll take on BYU.
Yeah, San Diego and BYU sitting at 3 and 4 in the conference, and then you got to go into their home court and try and get a win there. The Zags are tough, but we know that road games are also difficult as well.
And so are tournament games. We look ahead to the West Coast Conference tournament coming up next week in Las Vegas, Nevada, and a couple weeks from now, I should say, not next week. And so we know that the Gonzaga Bulldogs are locked into the either first or second seed just with how they've done so far this season. So you skip all the way to Monday is when they will play their first game. They got to sort out the lower seeds getting there. So basically you're straight into the semifinals with win a game and you're playing for a WCC title.
Yeah, so important to get that 1 or 2 seed because you just get to save your legs. You know, you got to come in and those other teams, let them battle it out. And like you said, yeah, you got to come in though ready to go. And 1 win, you're in the championship game.
Now anything could happen, but it certainly looks like this is a team that's going to be headed to the NCAA tournament after that. Of course, if they win the WCC tournament, they're an auto bid. Looking at some of the bracketology right now, what the bracket experts are looking at. Charlie Krem ESPN has them as a 7 seed, which would be opening against 10 seed Purdue. Connor Grohl of CBS Sports has them as an 8 seed. Meanwhile, Autumn Johnson of NCAA.com has them as a 6 seed. So somewhere in that 6 to 8 range, which is normally where we see this team end up. Last year they were a 9 seed, would get the win over 8 seed Nebraska before falling to Louisville. But it's now become the expectation that this team is going to be a team that's playing in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and when you look at this at the conference as well, Gonzaga is the only WCC team predicted to be in the tournament field. That is if everything goes as it should by seed numbers in the WCC tournament, and someone else doesn't get that automatic bid.
Basically what we're saying is this is the last Zags home game of the year, but we got plenty more Gonzaga women's basketball coming up later this season. And coming up in this second half, 7-point lead for the Zags. We'll take a break and come back. College Hoops right here on SWX. back here at the kennel, just a few minutes away, or moments I should say, not minutes. We're right around the corner. Looking at some of the halftime stats from the first half. Stephanie Hawk-Freeman, some not great numbers shooting from the field, but the Zags have done just enough to get the lead.
Yeah, and I think most of that was that first quarter. You know, at the end of the first quarter, it was 8-9. Neither team really came out shooting on fire. Things picked up in the second quarter, but you can see, you know, it's a 7-point game, so it's very close, but Gonzaga definitely controlling the paint right now.
We'll see if that trend continues here. If you're St. Mary's, you got to have an answer for Yvonne Ejim. You can't let her just continue to hurt you like this.
Mm-hmm.
But like we were talking about earlier, you try and take her away, opens up some shots on the arc, and that also might not be what you want. It's a tough team to game plan against. Back to the action underway here in the third quarter. St. Mary's with the ball first, trailing by 7. Oh, great cut underneath, and just like that, Hannah Rapp with 2 more points, and it's just a 5-point game.
Well, continuing off of that momentum, we talked about that big 3 to end the half. That's a great way. That's exactly how you want to come out in this second half.
The Zags got back to their usual selves there in the second quarter in terms of their offensive output. Eliza Hollingsworth going to work in the post, loses the ball. Ejim came out of nowhere, put it up, and got fouled. Von Ejim just came screaming in for that loose ball, grabbed it, put it right up, got fouled for her efforts.
Flying in.
Well, Ejim leads the team in free throws taken, and she shoots them at a good clip. Coming into this game, she's exactly 80%. And so far in this game now, she's hit her first 3.
Well, and it's not just her. You cannot foul this Gonzaga team. They're ranked 9th in the nation, 1st in the WCC. They shoot 79% as a team. It's incredible, the offensive efficiency, that they have. I mean, you look at their field goal percentage, 46%, 26th in the nation, 2nd in the WCC.
Great defense by Brenna Maxwell there with the block, came down with the ball, and now to the other end, Ejim layup. That time just a little too deep, couldn't get it to go.
And then you go, and we've already mentioned it, the 3-point shooting by Gonzaga. Definitely not shooting to get going, right? And they can get on fire.
Oh, Kaylin Trong with a beautiful no-look pass. Eliza Hollingsworth couldn't convert. St. Mary's coming the other way. There's Bamberger, held to just 3 points in the first half, and you can just look at the battle in the post between her and Ejim. Gonzaga trying so hard to deny her from getting that ball down low. This time she gets it, but Brenna Maxwell comes from behind and picks her pocket. Zags in transition. Trong saves it, and this is going to throw this into the backcourt. This will be a backcourt violation. Bit of a jumbled pace to start this second half as both teams trying to settle in and find their offense. About 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter. St. Mary's on offense. Here's Rapp. Picks up her dribble at the elbow, reverses it. Bamberger coming to set a screen. Hannafin driving, kicks it out. Driving, Rapp again, puts it up, and we're gonna get an offensive foul as Callie Stokes sat there and just waited for a Rapp to drift into her, and there's a smile. She knew that she got the turnover there. That one was well earned.
Yeah, that's the second charge that Gonzaga has picked up tonight because they're anticipating.
Here comes Kaylin Trong. She'll take a shot from the mid-range, can't get it to go. Ball's loose. Michaela Williams comes away with it, finds Trong, thought about a 3, instead reverses. Williams, Hollingsworth, Eliza, good defense there by St. Mary's. Another pass deflected, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Williams, coming off a screen from Ejim, kicks it out. Vonnie will try a 3, hits it! Everything going for Yvonne Ejim.
Has only shot 14 threes in the season. That's 5 for 14.
Bamberger able to respond on the other end. But it's something that you can really appreciate Yvonne Ejim's game. she's not somebody who, just because, you know, she hits really well from that kind of 15-foot shot, she doesn't feel like she has to force the three, but she's also not afraid to take it. Now there, of course, she had to beat the shot clock buzzer, but she goes right back down to the paint, can't get that shot to go. Eliza Hollingsworth can't get it. Third opportunity, and Eliza puts it off the glass and in. And we get a timeout taken by St. Mary's. We'll take one as well. Gonzaga has pushed the lead back out to 10 early here in the third quarter. Von Ejim, Eliza Hollingsworth doing the hard work in the paint. Zags up 10 here on SWX. There, AJ?
That's right, Austin. I'm here with Rachel Conne-Justice. She was a Zag in 03 to 08, part of the first team here to make it to the NCAA tournament. Rachel, first of all, what it's like to be back here in the kennel?
It's pretty surreal to see kind of how far the program's gone. It's awesome. You know, when we first got here, it was all about the men's, but now I think the women's are giving them a run for their money. So.
Absolutely, and you mentioned this, just the stature that this program has now, but how cool is it to see from where you guys were before and now this team being considered, you know, one that makes the tournament pretty often?
It's awesome to be part of that first team. So, I mean, to be that first team to go to the tournament and then just kind of see where it's taken off. You know, Court coming in after that, those 4 years after, and you know, Coach Lisa's just kind of taken each year further and further. So it's great to see.
All right, last question. You have a future Zag in your arms here. Is that who you have with you?
So this is my son, Ikaika. Dad is an Iowa State Cyclone, so we'll see where he ends up. But
awesome. Thank you for your time, Rachel.
All right, AJ, thank you, Rachel Conne-Justice. 95 games played in a Gonzaga jersey. And it's so good to see all the alumni come back, see the school pride. As Kaylin Trong hits a corner three. And I know that's something that you have a lot of, you know, Stephanie, that the pride and being able to see how far this program has come and you know, where it's headed. The elevation is not done yet.
Yeah, I think you nailed it right there with the word pride. It's so proud of this program still and what Coach Fortier has continued to do with this program and just being able to stay connected, right? To really just embrace having alumni come back and being connected to these current players. And it's a really special connection, and it's just a part of the Zag family. I mean, that's what it is. It's a family.
Gonzaga has stretched the lead to 13 after the last three from Kaylin Trong. St. Mary's trying to hang around as now we got a foul. This won't be a shooting foul. St. Mary's trying to hang around in transition, but they've kind of got bit by the turnover bug early on here in the second half as they've turned it over 5 times in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, overall 12 turnovers, and Gonzaga's turned those 12 turnovers into 16 points.
Pass inside, Bamberger in trouble. Ejim harassing her. She has to get rid of it. And now Brenna Maxwell coming in, just swarming defense from the Zags. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Whedon, goes to Bamberger. She's got to put one up. Didn't get it off, I don't believe. It doesn't matter anyway, it's a shot clock violation. This is a clinic on how to deny 2 players that can hurt you from doing that.
Yeah, Bamberger, 5 points, just 2 of 5 shooting, 4 rebounds. They are just making her day here at the kennel miserable.
Whedon also scoreless in this game.
Yeah, that's the Gales' top 2 scorers, right? And we talked about it in the keys to the game, locking on those 2 players.
Maxwell can't get the 3 to go. Great rebound by Hybens. Gets it back to Brenna, who drives. Kick to the corner. Stokes with it now. And Trong will take things over back near half court. Trong, 3 on the way. It's good! Kaylin Trong with a 3 to stretch the lead to 16 and another timeout. Zags starting to pull away. We'll see if St. Mary's can make a run or if this one's headed to 15-0 here in the kennel. You're watching SWX. Our Gonzaga fan of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Good looking hat right there.
I was gonna say, is it a hat or is it just a...
Is it a stuffed animal?
Yeah.
Multi-purpose use as a hat?
Getting creative.
But that's our fan of the game, Idaho Central Credit Union, your financial success fan club. one of the happy folks in attendance here as Gonzaga has put the pedal to the metal after a slow first quarter. Trying to pull away from St. Mary's, team they beat pretty handily, I would say, it's fair to say, the first time around. 25-point win in Moraga. Of course, that game without Bamberger. She's in this game, but Zags have done close to eliminate her off the scoreboard. I know she has 5 points and I believe only 1 field goal in each half so far.
Well, one thing the Zags did really well against Pacific the other day was that they were locked into the scout. They knew what players they needed to help off of and which ones they had to pay close attention to. And tonight, they are making the Gales top leading scorers, Casey Whedon and Bamberger. Like I said, it's miserable. They're miserable.
Turnover that nearly turned into another turnover for Gonzaga. Brenna Maxwell saved it from going out of bounds, and then it hit off the knee of St. Mary's, which got a great reaction from the crowd. Here you get a great look at it. Sometimes better to be lucky than good. Trong lines up another. Oh, couldn't get that one to go. She's having a great game, and she's really come into her own. 3 on the way from Whedon. Can't get it, she's still scoreless. You see the Zags starting to want to push the pace. And I think this team, Stephanie, has been so good offensively. They have not been a bad defensive team at all.
No.
They're the best defensive team in the conference, but it kind of felt like over the past few years, the Zags were known as that really good defensive team. And while that's still true this year, I think they're getting a little bit more recognition for their offense, how well they shoot the 3, how well Von Ejim and players like that play. But make no mistake, Lisa Fortier and her defensive background are still very noticeable on this team.
They are. They play great team defense. They rotate and they help on the lobs. You know, anytime a team tries to drive it into the paint, they've got long hands swiping down in there. They, like you were mentioning, they are first in the WCC with the fewest points allowed at 59.8. Number 2 for both field goal percentage and 3-point percent defense. They
hold their opponents to less than 40% shooting from the field. I think you summed it up pretty good. That is a miserable time.
It's, you know, you just gotta feel. You gotta feel for the opponent's other players because they're just getting all the attention and they take them out of their game, out of their rhythm.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Hollingsworth steps through the lane, can't get the shot to go, tips straight up in the air. Destiny Burton chases it down, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Gonzaga, though, under the basket. It's another one of those players, Destiny Burton, not somebody that, you know, might be the first player you list when you start going down the roster, but someone that can be so impactful in a game on stuff that doesn't necessarily show up on the score sheet.
No, yeah, she gets in there, she's strong, she holds her, you know, her position, she defends, and she gets out there and does the little things, just like you said. And another player that's got quite a few more minutes this year because of the injuries and just getting that valuable experience.
Well, definitely never fun when you make your first Division I start on the road at Stanford in a game you have 7 players, but she's made a, like you said, increase in her minutes, a season high 8 points, and a game you saw right here on SWX when they took on LMU.
Yeah, no dipping of the toe there. It was all in.
Casey Whedon finally gets on the scoreboard as she banks in a 3. It was her first make in 4 attempts from downtown. But on the other end, the Zags trying to answer. 2 minutes to go here in the third. Trong off a screen. Hollingsworth, and now we're going to foul on the inside. They'll get Destiny Burton for an offensive foul here and a turnover by Gonzaga. Whole host of subs coming in for both teams. Bamberger back on the floor for St. Mary's. Ejim back for Gonzaga. Zavon with just a clinic put on today, offensive and defense.
Yeah, and this is where you see Gonzaga really separate themselves from these other teams, is because of the depth. They just wear them down by the end of the game because they just continue to run the floor, run the lanes, because they're able to bring in so many bodies and they don't drop off.
St. Mary's can keep it within single digits if they can get a score here. Ball's on the floor. It goes out of bounds. A diving effort from Peyton Muma, but she can't quite save it. Williams and Muma getting on the floor there, working hard for those turnovers. Get a good look at it here.
Here we go. Coming at you, Crew.
Our guy,
right
Crew.
at our cameraman.
That one almost went off Crew, back in bounds. St. Mary's still on offense here. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Cutting through the lane. A wild shot put in by Mastora. It goes. Mastora getting her first points of the game. Under a minute and a half to go. The lead has been trimmed down to 9. Muma, another player who saw early significant minutes this season. Feed over the top. Ejim puts it up, sealed off Bamberger, and just went right to work in the paint.
Well, and you got to credit the lob because it was placed where no other player could go and get it except for Ejim.
Boy, St. Mary's, they just keep trying to feed it inside, and Yvonne just comes over the top and swats it away. We saw that's how she kind of hit the floor, working so hard to deny that pass in the first half, but they're making a statement in this game where they're just like, it's going to have to be anybody but Bamberger to beat us.
Well, if you were watching, I don't know if you could see it, but if you were watching Ejim on that out-of-bounds play, she was yelling at her teammates, making sure that everybody was on the same page, recognizing what the set was and how to defend it.
Now Zags on offense. They push it back out to double digits, content to slow the pace down here. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Muma, Ejim. Michaela Williams battling from position on the inside. She's got to get out. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Trong to beat the buzzer. It's good! Kaylin Trong. Another 3. Quickly to the other end, St. Mary's to answer another banked-in shot from Jade Kirasome. Now Trong at the end of that quarter. Oh, she nearly banked it in again, but they'll have to settle for an 11-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. Still 10 more minutes to sort this one out. Take a break and come back. It's College Hoops right here on SWX. Stay tuned to SWX and non-stop local KHQ right after this game as the 13th ranked Gonzaga Bulldog men continue their California road swing as they take on the Pepperdine Waves in a big West Coast Conference battle. Tip-off is set for 4 p.m. Gonzaga basketball live right after this game on non-stop local KHQ and SWX, your homes for local sports. Well, after this game, Lisa Fortier and the seniors that were honored will grab the mic and address the crowd. If we have time for that, we will carry that live right here on SWX. If we're getting into the men's game, we will still show that. That will be on our nonstop local website stream. We'll get you caught up on that at the end of the game. Still, though, we've got to sort out how this one ends. The Zags leading by 11 heading into the fourth quarter. Peyton Muma, high arcing three, nothing but net. Big shot there to stretch the lead to 14. Austin Getz, Stephanie Hawk-Freeman, AJ Howell joining you on the broadcast. The turnover by Muma. She's coming the other way. Peyton driving, lobs inside, alley-oop! Another timeout forced by St. Mary's. This place is rocking. We'll take the break with them as you see the Kennel crowd come to their feet. Zags up 16 right here on SWX. Our Gonzaga Hoops play of the game is brought to you by Multicare Health System. And if you were joining us just a moment ago, you saw it. The steal from Peyton Muma in transition, throwing up the lob, and Yvonne Ejim on the other end for 25 points in the celebration. Oh yeah, they're having a blast. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. That's our Multicare play of the game.
And that's that team defense, that rotation defense, right? Recognizing that they're looking for the lob, rotating over, getting the steal, and then it's off to the races. And if you're a big and you're on Gonzaga's team, you run the floor because you're going to benefit from it. You're going to get the rock, and you're going to be able to score.
What a performance so far. Still time left in this one. Zags aren't to the finish line quite yet, but still a lot more to come from this team in this season. St. Mary's, they're just on the wrong end of an avalanche right now and got to just try and get some points on the board. We saw them just throw up a couple shots that banked them in, and sometimes you just got to do that. You got to find ways to get shot up because there's another turnover. You can't afford to do that in this game.
Well, it's been hard for them to get into a flow or a rhythm in their offense because Gonzaga has taken their two leading scorers out of it. They've really been ineffective tonight. Whedon with just 3 and Bamberger with 7.
Brenna Maxwell, rare miss from three-point land. St. Mary's, Whedon, a mid-range floater good that time as she's able to get a couple of points. Been a brutal stretch for her in this game. Zags responding, Maxwell, mid-range. That one's no good, and we'll get a foul on the inside. Eliza Hollingsworth was impeded trying to get that rebound. So Zags will hold the basketball on the baseline. Kaylin Trong checking back into the game. 12 points, 4 three-pointers. She had 7 of them on Thursday night.
Yeah, all of her points were from the three-point line, and same, tonight all 4 of her makes have been from the free throw or three-point line, excuse me.
Her last 11 made buckets coming from behind the arc. This time she tries to wrap around a pass on the baseline. It's knocked out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Zags. 24 seconds on the shot clock here as the Zags get ready to take the inbound. Got to get it in. They do to Hollingsworth. Trong. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to feed Ejim inside. It's denied again, but again, it'll stay with the Zags. Bamberger trying to put a stop to the Yvonne Ejim show. 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists from the Gonzaga junior. Maxwell for 3. Got it!
On these set plays that are set for Brenna to come off, she knows she's going to be open because her teammates are setting good screens. A lot of times she's setting the first screen, so the most open player is the screener, right? And she comes off and she is ready to fire because she knows she's going to have enough space to get that shot off.
She doesn't need much. Her second 3 of the day there. Now here's a 3 in the corner, rattles out, offensive board, and now we got a foul. Addison Whedon pulled down that rebound before she took a trip to the floor. Neither team really doing a lot of fouling in this game. No one really in foul trouble. Yvonne Ejim does have 3. Hasn't picked one up in a while.
Well, I think something.
Oh, that last one was on her. Excuse me. That's how she got 3.
Yeah, and something that's been impressive is that Gonzaga has only sent the Gales to the free throw line for 2 free throw shots this whole game.
St. Mary's just trying to hang around. Drive into the middle, kick it out. Whedon for three. High off the back iron. Ejim the rebound. Zags trying to push the pace. Lob inside. Williams gets it to go. Boy, you could see Kaylin Trong and Michaela Williams lock eyes all the way down the floor as quickly Tacey Whedon knocks down a three. But you saw that play developing the second Kaylin got that ball in her hands, and now she puts one up and scores. End-to-end action right now. Whedon, another three. Zags lost her that time. Addison, her sister, pulls it down. Tacey now takes over.
Yeah, fortunate that Whedon did not hit that three. She is an excellent three-point shooter, and she's been heating up here a little bit in the fourth quarter.
Bamberger on the inside gets the bucket to go. Trying to just keep it within striking range. Still down 16, Williams for three. Michaela hits it. And just like that, back out to 19. The Zags have just had an answer from the opening tip. Everything St. Mary's has done. Whedon drives to the inside this time, puts it up with the left hand. Tacey Whedon, you can see, is putting the burden on her shoulders to try and keep the Gales in this game.
Yeah, the Gales are still battling. They really are. This is a team that they have not just surrendered the white flag.
Whedon with 10 points, 4 of 11 from the field. Ejim inside. Little contact down there, no call. Couldn't quite get the shot to go. So we've got 5.5 minutes. Bamberger quickly to the other end, but there's Williams again, just hustling back on defense, forcing another turnover. Now in transition, Trong. Step back, inside. Hollingsworth battling for position, puts it off the glass and in.
You just cannot cough up those live ball turnovers because Gonzaga transitions so quickly. I mean, they've got players just running the floor. Kaylin's going to slow it down here a little bit, but you've got the post running. You've got the guards spotting up, or the guards running the lane for layups as well.
Turned into a track meet there for a minute as we were going coast to coast at lightning pace. Now here we're going to have some contact. This one's going to go against Claire Steele as Ejim, trying to set the screen, got ran over. 5 minutes to go in this one. Zags leading by 19. And subs coming on the floor. Got too many subs. I think the Zags thought that this was a timeout.
Yeah.
Both teams did. Zags got to get someone to inbound there. There we go. Callie Stokes ready to do the job. Zags have hit 5 of their last 6 shots. Stokes, Hybens now at the elbow. Now drives, puts it up, can't get it to go. Just gets that 6-3 frame up to get the offensive rebound. Now puts up a second chance, can't get it. Poked out by Hollingsworth. But St. Mary's able to come away with it.
Yeah, you can see how tough Bamberger is inside. Defensively, she is very strong.
Corner 3 on the way. Esther Little Skies tried to get the rebound. It goes out of bounds, and it will be Gonzaga basketball.
So we would have to, I'm pretty sure I saw it, but I didn't write it in my notes. I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I'm pretty sure against Pacific, Gonzaga shot better behind the three-point line as a team than from the field goal. And the same thing is happening tonight, or today. Gonzaga is shooting 47% behind the three-point line.
It's incredible how talented this team is from shoot. It's like they're not bad under the basket, but the further away they get from the basket, the more dialed in they are.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hybens goes to the free throw line. Boy, how big is it for Lisa Fortier to get her back, get Eliza back after missing some time. Don't know, where the injury situation lies right now for Kaylee Trong. Maybe you can get her back too. I mean, you just have, kind of some fresh legs, for lack of a better term, of players to come in and help you make this postseason run.
Well, and if you also get in foul trouble as well, right? You're not as limited. You've got those extra bodies. And the one thing I do want to mention about that three-point shooting is that Gonzaga, yes, they're shooting well from it, but they're not falling in love with it.
Right.
They're not living or dying by it because they're still sticking to that inside game. They're still looking for their post to go to work. And one post specifically,
right? I think
today
it speaks.
has gone to work.
I just think it speaks to the unselfish nature of this team. Is here's some good baseline inbounds execution that gets Addison Weed in the bucket. It speaks to the unselfish nature of this team because early in this game, when Yvonne Ejim was just scoring at will, you didn't see Kaylin Trong, you didn't see Brenna Maxwell want to force their shot. They wanted to get it to her because they were having the success.
Yes.
And now in the second half, Trong has had the success. Had a look at a three there, couldn't get it to go.
We talk a lot about the shooting of Kaylin Trong, but she's dishing out over 5 assists a game. That's 25th in the nation, first in the WCC. So she's finding her teammates as well, just like you said.
Bamberger just trying anything to keep them in it. Nails her first 3. She's up to 12 points. Zags would gladly sign up for 12 points from her any day.
Yeah, so the truck just did confirm they did shoot. They shot over 50% behind the three-point line against Pacific and just around 46%.
And 46 isn't a bad, field goal percentage. It's just 56 is hard to beat. Kaylin Trong goes off the floor for what probably will be the last time tonight, to a smattering of applause here at the Kennel as the Zags up 15 with just over 3 minutes to play. Looking to put a cap on Senior Day and their last game here at the McCarthy Athletic Center this season. As looks like we got to clean up the floor a little bit before we get this ball in bounds. You know, I talked to Lisa Fortier this morning and talked about how it doesn't seem like, especially in that game against Pacific or this game here, that the Zags are looking ahead to either the big matchup in Provo or to the WCC tournament. She told me it's because, hey, we're still trying to win a WCC title. Some years at this point of the season, they have already locked up that, and so you maybe start looking a little bit to the postseason a little bit too early and trip up. She's like, we're still trying to win a regular season title, so that helps with the focus. And also, that's what experience gets you, and you have a lot of that on this team.
Yeah, and part of that is because Portland's sitting 13-2 right behind them there, and so you still got to take care of business.
Man, what a big win that was for the Zags to complete the sweep over the Pilots.
Yeah.
Peyton Muma, the steal, and a chance for a layup. She scores. Peyton Muma, end-to-end action, two-way player. Bamberger, meanwhile, just stayed in the backcourt. She'll get a foul and a trip to the free throw line, but Muma picking the pocket, going the other way.
Yeah, and look at Muma. She's got some jets on her. She can get.
She can go.
She can go.
She can go. Fun player to watch. Last season when she was redshirting, the end of the bench antics, cheering on her teammates, and that energy is translated here on the floor in her redshirt freshman season. Bamberger couldn't hit the first free throw. Pretty good free throw shooter. Came into the game around 75%. She splits the pair there. Close to hitting 2 minutes to go in this one. Michaela Williams across the lane to Muma. Now Callie Stokes. Esther Little out there as well. Little picks up her dribble and throws it right to Jade Kirasome. But another turnover as Hybens takes that one away. Pass over the top, Little skies for it. Now out to the arc a little too far as Muma tried to save it, but it's gonna end up as an easy layup on the other side for Taylor Dalton. St. Mary's, 19 turnovers in this game. Zags haven't played exactly a clean game either. They have 14, but the difference between 19 and 14, especially if you're a team like Gonzaga who scores so well off of turnovers, as we see number 15 right there. You never want to point to one thing, as that goes off of St. Mary's and out of bounds. So there we get number 20. You never want to point to one thing, but the points off turnover is very telling in this game, as Gonzaga just able to convert on St. Mary's mistakes.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm looking at too is I really like the fact that out of the 24 makes Gonzaga's made, 16 were off of assists. So you talk about that team ball and finding players in the right spot, passing up a good shot for a great shot. That's what this Gonzaga team's doing.
So the Zags, as Destiny Burton takes a mid-range shot, can't get it to go. Zags are going to improve to 25-3 on the season. They'll be 15-1 in conference play and 15-0 here at the Kennel. St. Mary's just trying to make it a bit of a closer game. Can't convert there, and Lisa Fortier takes a timeout to get a sub on the floor. Gianna Riley, the Gonzaga soccer star turned basketball player, added mid-season when
needed some help.
The injuries were at their highest.
They needed some bodies.
Played a little high school basketball as well, so Gianna getting on the floor, driving, puts it up. She hasn't scored this season. That was just her 6th shot attempt of the year. The Zag bench will surely explode if she's able to put one in. 15 seconds left. That shot on the way, no good. And Zags are going to dribble this one out. 15-0 here at the Kennel this season. Gonzaga, just a force to be reckoned with in this building. That trend continuing this season and continuing in this game as the Zags take down the Gales 65-51 in their final home game of this season. We're not going anywhere. We'll keep it here while they get ready for Lisa Fortier and the players to address the crowd. We'll keep that with you. Of course, we've got the Zags men's game coming up at 4 o'clock. But right now it's time to award our player of the game, presented by A to Z Rental. No job too big or too small with 8 convenient locations. We rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. Stephanie, an easy choice for us tonight. Yvonne Ejim was great from the opening tip-off.
Yeah, 25 points, shooting 10 of 17. Made a 3, had 4 for 4 from the free throw line, just short of a double-double with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, all in just 27 minutes.
And you can't overstate how good her defensive efforts were, guarding Bamberger for most of this game. Your A to Z Rental player of the game, Yvonne Ejim. As here's head coach Lisa Fortier.
Thank you for a great season here in the Kennel. Let's give yourselves a round of applause real quick. We are really grateful to have you guys here. You guys make this place a really fun place to be and to play basketball, and the gratitude that we have for you probably will never be able to be said properly or enough, but we really do appreciate you guys coming out every night for us. Seems like this season has gone quickly. I can't believe this is our last home game, even though it's been a grinder, especially for these guys who've been grinding it out. So really, thank you guys so much. I just want to say a quick thanks to the Bulldog Band and Cheer. You guys are awesome. We hate playing here during Christmas break because you guys aren't here. So we're going to try to schedule away from that in the future. We also have a bunch of our alums here. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but today's Alumni Day. So let's give it up for all of our alums. I know you guys are spread out. I know a bunch of you sit up there and some of you over here. And I want you guys to know, the players hear all the time how happy I am when you guys show up for practice or when you guys show up for games. I love you guys. You guys don't remember me as mean anymore. And they all still think that. So thank you guys for all that you guys have done to kind of lay the groundwork here and to again, help us build what we've built here. So thank you guys. Just a couple more things. My staff, our families, I know a bunch of them are here. You guys are the best, and I never get to say that because usually the seniors get to talk, but there's no seniors, so thank you. And then the last two things. First of all, the seniors that could have moved on to somewhere else or something else. Thank you guys for betting on us. Again, we're going to keep betting on you guys. And then the team, the team has, you guys have seen that how many do you have today, Coach? How many do you have today, Coach? And there's some of them who've been here through all of it, healthy or played sick, never has to miss a game, and there's some that have missed a lot. But you guys are doing a great job. And you're fun to coach. We're excited to keep playing with you guys and keep coaching you guys. And I hope that the rest of you guys will, we're just going to keep adding players. There's still another one that we get to add at some point, hopefully. So you guys should come on down to Vegas and see what we got, see who we got to play with there. So I think that's all I got. Anything else that I need to say? Just one more time, thank you for being great fans. We'll see you next year, okay?
Lisa Fortier saying it best, no senior day speeches when you have no seniors that are departing. Again, before this game, if you missed the very first part of it, the seniors that were honored before the game in terms of eligibility concerns, Kaylee and Kaylin Trong, Eliza Hollingsworth and Brenna Maxwell, all announcing they will be back next season. And so Lisa Fortier grabbing the mic and addressing the fans here, and I know how much it means to this team to have such a great environment to play in.
And there they are, making their announcement, and the place exploded.
Oh, did it ever. It was awesome. And, fun to think about next year and, of course, what this team is. But this is not the end of this season. There is a lot still on the table for this Gonzaga team. Obviously, some big conference games next week. Got to face San Diego. Got to go to Provo, a tough place to play. If you're the Zags to take on BYU, but what lies